What's up, True Heel Heat? True Heel Heat. What's up? True Heel Heat. All hands on me. Hello everyone, it's the hardcore legend Mick Foley wishing a nice day to everyone there, right there at True Heel Heat. Yeah!
Yo, what up? You know what it is. It's your boy AJ Francis reporting to you live from New York City, the birthplace of hip-hop. And I'm telling you that I'm only tuned in with True Heel Heat Wrestling. Holla at me.
What's going on, everybody? This is your former AEW World Heavyweight Champion. Once a champion, always a champion. Swerve Strickland. Whose house? Swerve's house. You're watching True Heel Heat podcast.
Hello, 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 hello. It is me, your True Heel Phenom SP3. We are live on the True Heel Heat YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter for the big preview for this Saturday's huge show from Indianapolis, Indiana. Yes, it is the WWE Royal Rumble 2025 preview. And of course, I am joined by my esteemed colleague. You know her as coexisting with Rob every Friday on Fightful Overbooked, but as well as showing up every couple of months or every month here on the True Heel Heat YouTube channel for our WWE PLE previews. It is the one and only Maggie. How are you doing?
Okay, first of all, on that little intro that you have, you put The Rock at number 2 and Cody at number 1. If that's not biased, I don't know what it is. I mean, show some love for your Lord and Savior, The Rock, okay? First of all. And second, I am here to atone for my sins for abandoning you last week. So I'm so sorry. Blame my bosses and my awful, awful work. So how are you?
Awful work. Awful work.
No.
I am doing well. I'm glad to have you back on here to talk about the first PLE of 2025, the Royal Rumble. And there's a lot of anticipation, a lot of excitement in the wrestling world when it comes to this Saturday show. So always happy to talk about that with you and with everyone watching us here on the True Heel Heat YouTube channel. Appreciate y'all if you are joining us live. Appreciate y'all if you are watching us on demand. Remember to show your appreciation back the simplest way possible possible. Let's drop the thumbs up on this video. You can also share this video with all your wrestling fans, friends, and family on all your favorite social media platforms. If you're new to the True Heel Heat YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button, hit the bell to stay notified for all the great content here. And of course, sound off in the live chat. We love to interact with all of you guys. Hear your thoughts, your predictions on this Saturday's WWE Royal Rumble 2025 event, the Royal Rumble matches, the ladder match, 2 out of 3 falls matches. There's a lot of different stipulations going on for this Saturday. So let us know your predictions, who you think is going to be the Iron Man, Iron Woman, who's going to get the most eliminations. Let's talk about it. But of course, if you want to make sure your comment is highlighted on screen, you want to share your thoughts on the Royal Rumble, you can send a super chat donation. Any dollar amount matters. It goes back to the contributors that we see on screen with us here, and we set a goal, another goal for the super chat for today. So if we do hit the super chat goal, we will be doing our traditional Royal Rumble lottery. I think we took last year off from doing it, but we do a Royal Rumble lottery. It's just $1 to enter. It's just paying like a train fare to go somewhere if you're in New York, nowhere else. But it's like $1 for a train fare, $1 for a water at some places, not every place in New York. But yes, $1 entry for our Royal Rumble lottery, and whoever gets the winning number in this year's Royal Rumble, whether it be the men's or women's, they will get the pot. They get the pot for the winning number. It's a lot. That's why it's a lottery, because it's picked at random. I will do the number generator 1 through 30, and everybody will get a number for the Royal Rumble lottery. So let's see if we can hit that super chat goal. We got a couple of people already in our chat already. We got I Make Beats, who says, Rumble Week, let's fucking go. Yes, he's excited. We also got him saying, no trains where I live, mate. Well, that's fine. I did think about the UK. I was like, yeah, train fare is a bitch in the UK. It's ridiculous. But yeah. We also got Alex Powell, who says, should be fine. Hopefully we get a good Rumble, as lately they have been booked underwhelming as of late. Yeah, I've been hearing that a lot.
This is the first Rumble under Triple H. Please
no. Last year.
Last year was overshadowed by Vince McMahon's fuckery. So, I mean, Rob and I didn't even do a show because I was so stunned at everything that was happening. So, okay, let me rephrase this. This is the first Rumble with, that's all about the Rumble and not anything else.
This is the first Rumble without any Vince McMahon influence.
Yeah, as of right now.
As of right now.
We still have time. Please don't. So
I can say I may or may not be starting a conspiracy that Vince McMahon did help Triple H book the Raw on Netflix premiere, but as of right now, we think that Vince is not involved in the booking with the Raw Rumble.
Yes, just fingers crossed.
Just watch that Raw on Netflix premiere and tell me that that's not Vince McMahon. That's not.
It's not a Raw after WrestleMania, but I do get what you're saying. I mean, I did expect a lot more. And this came after my huge disappointment from the premiere of Dynamite on HBO, because that was crap for me. I set up my expectations so high because I was like, okay, they're the first who are gonna premiere on a streaming service, because it's on January 1st, and then we have 5 more days and then it's Raw, so they have to book this strong. And I kind of feel like I raised my expectations a lot, and then they did nothing, and I'm like, fucking shit.
Yeah, for AEW, the next 2 weeks were better than the first week.
Exactly. Last week was amazing. I loved it. I just zero dry pennies were had. But like, it was an amazing show. But like, when I watched the premiere on HBO, I was like, okay, so Raw's gonna be awesome. Okay, Raw's gonna do great, and then they didn't, and I was like, fuck everything.
We're still waiting for that great Raw on Netflix. We've had some very good ones, like Penta's debut. This past week was very good with the Punk and Cody stuff. To me,
completely fine. Nothing wow.
Yeah. There hasn't been like the knocked out the park like last summer. Like the we were getting those knock out the park Monday Night Raws when they figured out how to do 3 hours.
Yes.
It only took them 12 years, They figured out how to do a 3 hour
How,
Raw.
how much time do you think it's gonna take for them to realize that a 3 hour SmackDown does not work, and
I
just
mean, I
put a
mean, I think I
stopgap?
think the fans, the more I said it wasn't going to work from the beginning, so I feel very
Yeah,
vindicated in the practice of it because it hasn't worked.
it is such a chore, man. I used to adore SmackDowns because they were so easy to watch, and now they're just a chore before my Saturday day shift. Just a fucking chore. And I was like, yeah, okay, we don't have a Rampage anymore, so that's good. And then a 3 hour SmackDown.
We got Rob Wilkins in the chat on the Fightful account. He made sure to put the Rob. That's why I always put SP3 in whatever message I put so people don't think it's like True Hill Heat. It's anyone from True Hill Heat. I would have thought this was Sean Ross Sapp, which would have popped me. But thank you, Rob, for joining us in the chat. He says this last Raw was very Vince-like until the final segment. They should have stopped the first matchup, but the first match was the best match on the show because of JD McDonough's performance.
Yeah,
But
yeah. But
I
like we were
really,
saying,
I think I really like this past week's Monday Night Raw mainly because of the final segment. How they did 3 segments, but they interwove with one another. They did the
yeah.
Roman cover, 2K cover with the Heyman promo into Drew McIntyre interrupts into Drew versus Sammy into Sammy kicks Cody by accident, quote unquote,
Again. I mean,
again another
it was Seth
accident,
Rollins. Yes,
another
another.
accidental haluva kick into Cody and Punk at the end. Like that was just some great
So good.
stuff. And
It was really good.
like WWE, I will be very critical of it usually on this channel, but like AEW is just they're getting lapped when it comes to the main event department because WWE's main event scene is just so well written right now.
It
How
is.
all these characters are interwoven with each other, where there's so many other possibilities as we're on the road to WrestleMania. And then you look at the AEW main event picture with the Death Riders kind of dragging things down and everything
That's
else
not
on the
the
show.
main picture. That is not the main picture. The main picture is my boy Will Ospreay, Kenny Omega, and then the other guys.
I want
Now,
that to be the main picture, Maggie. I wish that they booked last week's Dynamite in reverse. I would have liked it so much more than I did, and I really
I
liked last
shat
week's
my
Dynamite.
pants. Okay, they did their moonsaults, and I got pregnant. So, how is that possible? That is
But
the main event.
it was just so great the on air storytelling because Omega says I'm not gonna team with you. I would never team with you. But they had to team together to lift a heavy man, and then they did cool moonsaults over high places, and that's how they became friends.
This is John Cena territory over here. No, Bray Wyatt, I will not face you at WrestleMania. Oh, I will. Legitimately 2 minutes later.
I've been quoting Rick Ucchino. He was like, it's like Batman versus Superman when Batman and Superman found out that their mom's names was
Their
Martha.
mom is just
Our moms have the same name. Oh man, we have to be friends. Perfect. I was like, that's the perfect analogy. I was like, Rick Ucchino, you're a smart man. That's the perfect analogy to what we just saw.
Rick is a pretty good man,
Yes.
smart and witty person.
Shout outs
That's
to
why
Rick.
that's why we hate him.
He's gonna have boots on the ground in Indianapolis at the Royal Rumble. But you know what we do here on the True Hill Heat YouTube channel with our pay-per-view previews. So Maggie, what is your excitement level 0 to 10 for this Saturday show, the Royal Rumble?
Oh, 10. It's the Rumble. I'm always going to be incredibly excited. It's the Rumble. I know we had in recent history that one awful Royal Rumble. That one awful one. And
2022.
Yes, I happened to watch it live even. And that was such a disappointment. That's why I don't watch pay-per-views live anymore because fuck that. And it's the bar is so low, but it's been set. So right after that, like it's a, and the thing is, I feel like in a long time, this is the most. I cannot predict the Rumble. I don't know who's gonna win. I've known who's gonna win for the past years a lot, and everyone that I thought was gonna win did end up winning. But I don't know who's gonna win this year. It's really it's kind of exciting. This is good.
It is good. It is good because I think like I said it the other day. I forgot what channel I was on, but I said like this is the first year in a while where we have multiple contenders to win in both the men's and the women's. Usually it's like one, maybe two people that kind of look like the foregone conclusion, but I feel like there's three real big horses in the men's rumble, which I put in the title to the stream here. And then I think with the woman, it's kind of wide open. There is a favorite because of Charlotte getting the vignettes. I think that she is kind of the lead favorite, but it's realistically
stupid decision ever. Why the Rumble is in a week when they air that vignette? Why would they do that? Why? Tell me. Just
you know something, Maggie. I was you in 2023 when they did that with Cody. They did the same thing that they did with Charlotte this year. They did it with Cody. Yes. And I was tight. I was tight at that time. So when I saw the first vignette this year for Charlotte, I legitimately called it. I was like, they're going to do the Cody thing where she's going to do, it's the vignette where she declares for the Royal Rumble. So when I saw SmackDown this week, I felt vindicated because I was like, oh, I'm good on my like, my cliff notes. I was like, WWE gives you clues. It gives you context clues for certain things. And I called that one to a T. So I'm not that upset as I was in 2023.
Well, listen, it's not a clue. It's right there. That's not, you don't need to be a detective, okay? It's
no.
Right,
some people don't remember that don't put two and two together and be like, oh, that's the same thing they did with Cody. They're doing with Charlotte.
Well, no, that's just, assuming that your audience is dumb. So please don't do that to us. I mean, at some point, we have to start believing that wrestling fans have, some kind of intelligence. I know what I said, and it sounds stupid, but I would like to hope that it that it is true. So come on, please. Just the dumbest thing, man. The dumbest thing. She's right there. Please just have her as a surprise. Why would you? Why? Like
no, I'm gonna because there's gonna be a lot of different surprises, and each surprise is gonna probably overshadow the next one. And you want to make one that's everybody knows is gonna come. So I understand this decision. I understand it a lot more than I did with Cody, to be fair.
Because listen, there's the bit with me at the Royal Rumble, and we're gonna talk about it later. But I'm gonna have some expectations now that you promoted Charlotte. I'm gonna have some high expectations now, and it's your fault. I mean, the Rumble guy is not your.
I'll take the blame. I'll take the blame. I'll take some blame for this. Okay. I'm responsible for this. But no, I think that you should have some high expectations because the women's field, even though they've kind of filled it out over the last week, they only had like two people announced, like almost like 8 days ago. They only had like two people announced. Now they have like, I think like 10 or so announced for the women's Royal Rumble matchup. I think that there's going to be a bunch of surprises though in that women's match. So I'm going to go as far as like my expectations 0 to 10, my excitement level for Saturday's show. I'm going to go with 8 because I was also very excited for last year's Royal Rumble or 2024. And then, all the Vince stuff happened and that did overshadow some things. But I think that, we could say all that, but that's kind of an excuse. We got to be honest and say last year's Royal Rumble was kind of mid. It was kind of forgettable. It happened. The main thing I remember is that people were freaking dead quiet for Cody and Punk as the final two. Way more quiet than I thought they would because I thought they would be on fire for that. So that's the things I remember most. And also Cody going into business for himself after he won the Royal Rumble and pointing at Roman. Those are the two things that I remember
And
from
the
last
press
year's Rumble.
scrum. I remember the press scrum.
Oh, yes. The
Yes.
embarrassment that was
Yes.
Triple H in the press scrum.
Mhm.
Yes.
I did
That was
remember
the most. And then after all of that, I remember the women's Royal Rumble was actually good. That's what I remember. I remember
The
four
women's-
different things before I remember the actual good thing on the show.
The women's Royal Rumble should have main evented the show. That's exactly what I remember. And I also remember my washing machine being broken and me mopping up water while listening to the press conference. So that was
Did
so
you almost
fun.
slip on your floor as you heard
Yes,
Triple
because
H's responses?
yeah, I almost did because it was detergent water because like it wasn't just it was really slippery, you know. It's yeah.
Mm, mm, mm.
Fingers crossed it does not happen this year.
Yeah, let's not have that happen this
Let's
year.
not.
Either thing. Let's not have Triple H embarrass everybody in the press scrum, and let's not
Can
have
we just have one thing? Can we just give us one
one or
thing,
the other.
please? What just yeah. If the Rumble sucks, everyone please know it's because my washing machine didn't break. So like
That's the key to a great to a good Royal Rumble and a bad Royal Rumble. A bad Royal Rumble, we know that Maggie's washing machine broke again.
it's my washing machine's fault.
We do have a super chat donation to start us off here from Vala B, the good brother. Thank you so much, Vala B, for the support. He says, I don't want Charlotte to win the Rumble in Annapolis. It's Indianapolis, but Annapolis. Is that a joke that I'm missing on? I don't know. Indianapolis. But I mean, I understand that. I think that in WWE's mind, they think enough time has gone by that the Charlotte haters have kind of quieted down and that Charlotte can win something and it won't be too offended, or they won't hear the outcry of people complaining that she wins too much or does too much. I think that that's why that she's a favorite, and she's the betting odds favorite right now for the Women's Royal Rumble match.
Sweetie, who attacked Jade?
I would love to tell you, but I don't think WWE cares that much.
Okay.
Just based on what I'm watching on TV every week.
Based on that, because like I've been beating this drum to death. The only person who benefited from Jade not being there anymore is Naomi.
Yeah.
She's champion right now. And everyone is 100% legit. Oh, it's your tag team champ. She's not.
That would make no sense. It would make no sense if it was Bianca Belair.
No. Why would she? Like, tell me, what does she get? If it's anyone besides Naomi, I'm gonna be incredibly, perplexed. It's weird to me. And no, it's not Naomi. Tell me why it's not Naomi. She's the only one who benefited from her being out of door. Just I don't know. Let's talk about the Rumble.
You're so frustrated. I love it. Let's talk about the Royal Rumble, and let's talk about the Women's Royal Rumble matchup. There will be 30 women participating. Already been announced is Nia Jax, Bayley, Charlotte Flair, Bianca Belair, Naomi, Liv Morgan, Lyra Valkyria, Ivy Nile, Io Sky, and 21 more to be announced. I'm sure the likes of Chelsea Green, the Women's United States Champion, should be involved in the matchup. Probably Piper Niven as well. I could see Michin, since she's facing Chelsea Green for the United States Championship on SmackDown. She should probably be involved in this as well. So we got a bunch of different ladies that are on Raw and SmackDown. A few more from NXT. WWE. And then we've been hearing a whole bunch of rumors and reports, Maggie, in regards to different women who may be on their way back. Asuka has been reported by PW Insider that they are currently making, and Fightful Select have been reporting that they're currently making plans for Asuka's return. It was PW Insider that announced that Alexa Bliss was having contract disputes and may have her return plan scrapped, but who knows if that's been resolved and can get resolved before Saturday, and she might show up in there. And then you had TMZ who announced that Nikki Bella is training for an in-ring return to the WWE following WrestleVotes making the original report that there's been discussions in regard to a Nikki Bella return. So a lot of different factors, a lot of different big names out there that could potentially return. Becky Lynch is another big one that a lot of people thought would return on the Raw and Netflix. But Maggie, what do you think about the field? So you got a couple of questions to answer here. Who do you think will be the Iron Woman? Who do you think will have the most eliminations? And who will win the 2025 Women's Royal Rumble match?
What is happening where you're from? Like,
it's a lot of different stuff. It is New York City.
Okay, listen. Every year, it is the Rumble. Every year, I swear to God, I will never stop beating this drum. Please, AJ Lee, come back. Please. I need you in my life, AJ. I love you. I miss you. The women's division is not the same without you. You need to check up on your kids that you yourself invented. Damn it. I miss AJ Lee so much. Please come back, even for only for the Rumble, please. I just want to see AJ Lee back in the ring for you know. Can I just can you give me this? Can you give me please? I will die, okay? From happiness. I'm gonna die from
I will die.
I will die from sadness if she doesn't come back. Please, just give every year I pray either for Caitlyn or AJ. Caitlyn had the best spear in the business, and I don't care about your opinion. AJ Lee sold the crap out of that spear, by the way. Every time it was like she was a testing dummy. It's just, I don't know, like how can you sell like that? Please, just tell me. Please, woman, I love you. Just come. Okay, so moving on from that, because there's almost zero chance of that happening, because there's no way.
That's the other question. Who's your big surprise of the matchup?
Hopefully Jordan Grace. Because Jordan Grace is my current role model. Because I all-time inspiration. I adore that woman. Just please, I would like to think that either her or Zarya are the Iron Women of this Rumble, because I don't think Zarya's been portrayed as the machine that she can be on NXT. It's actually kind of depressing because, yes, okay, thank you for presenting Stephanie Vaquer like that, and that's how I pronounce it. I don't care.
Is that how you roll your R's?
It's the same way as I pronounce liquor. Liquor. Yes. Thank you for presenting Julia and Stephanie like, the amazing women's wrestlers that they are. But you also included Zarya in there. You changed her name from Delta, that was really good. From Zarya, that reminds me of Daria, and I had to rewatch the series because I love Daria. And so it's like you had that incredible performance with Jordan Grace and Zarya and the on Deadline, the during the Iron Survivors challenge match. And I would like for this to be continued in the Rumble because I want WWE to go back to the point where they put breadcrumbs in little things and to make you watch all their product in order for you to be completely familiarized. You get what I'm saying with with the storytelling and whatever their direction is. So hopefully a wonderful showing for Jordan Grace and Zarya. I do not want Jordan Grace anywhere near NXT. She does not belong in NXT. She needs to be on the main roster
Agreed.
yesterday. Yesterday. So hopefully this I am expecting Roxanne Perez from NXT. And I'm actually in my wildest fantasies, I'm actually pushing for Roxanne to win the Royal Rumble. I really am because um I to be perfectly honest, I have been thinking and I do feel like Roxanne will make a wonderful money in the back winner, if I have to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah, incredibly. But I do want 1 year for them to say an NXT talent won the Royal Rumble. This is
Mm.
they didn't get to do that during the golden era of NXT, and I hate that. I don't think that NXT is ever going to go back to that. I don't think it's ever going to be as big as the black and gold era of NXT.
Yeah.
And it's kind of a bummer because we all love that NXT. It was during a time when the main roster show was not good whatsoever. And it wasn't because of that we loved NXT. No, it's not because the other alternative was really crappy. No, NXT was that good, and they made characters and they made you care about them, and it made sense most of the time. But yeah, most of the time. So it's uh yeah. So I'm kind of torn because I want Roxanne to win, of course, but I'm not crazy. I know that she's not gonna, but I do think that she's gonna be one of the final four in
Okay.
there. Um, I am expecting Sol Ruka to do a bunch of
Mm.
wonderful shit in the Rumble because they don't show her on NXT television a lot, but I feel like she's a fan favorite.
Yeah.
Sol Ruka. Yeah, I love that woman, and I can't wait to see whatever she does. Um, Nikki Bella.
You can look, but you can't touch.
Oh, shut
You
up.
keep gleaming off the stars above.
No,
Mm, mm.
no, no, no. Let's
Love
light
that
it
theme
up,
song.
light it up, light it up, light it tonight.
No.
Let's light it.
No. I
My
can't wait.
phone.
I'm a Nikki Bella mark.
Oh
I'm a
my
Nikki
god,
Bella.
what am I doing on this
I
show?
was rooting for her on Traitors. I was rooting for her on a whole different show.
So, by the way, my phone rang with AJ Lee's theme for about 3 years. So, this is the kind of dedication that I have to the woman. So Nikki Bella, I definitely understand the fascination there. Nikki Bella was like all the women that were part of the Divas era and the Total Divas and Total Bellas and everything. That is not my cup of tea, man. That
Oh,
is
it's not
not
my
my
cup of
thing.
tea either, but I appreciate her bringing eyes to the business. They
This is
made
exactly what.
wrestling franchise.
Yes, yes. This is exactly where I was going. I will never not appreciate the fact that they made women interested in wrestling, and thank you for that because if women still didn't watch wrestling, it would have been a really sad place, and it is what it is. So yes, I will forever be thankful for that, but that does not change my opinion on the matter. um I She did got really good in the ring considering the fact that she was um initially just a pretty face,
Yeah.
and
And then she became Nikki Masawa.
yeah,
Nikki Masawa with those
Jesus,
forearms. She's
yes,
King's Road, Queen's
yes.
Road, Queen's Road matches for the Divas Championship. Her classics with Charlotte Flair, with AJ
longest
Lee.
longest reigning Divas champion, and that is only because they did it out of spite. Only out of spite. You
Twin
cannot tell
Magic,
you
Twin Magic, iconic
sucks,
moments,
sucks, man.
like you should have died in the womb.
Oh my god, yes, this was my favorite. You should have died in the womb. Just no, just stop it. No.
But everybody wants to pop when Tony Storm says it. When Tony Storm says it, it's
Hey, she
okay.
does it in character. She's gonna beat her tits off. I don't know what you're talking about.
Imagine if Brie responded with, "I'm gonna rip your tits off. They're not even real." That would have been great 10 years ago. That would have been great.
Yes. It would have been great 10 years ago. And so no. Just no. Okay, so yes, I think I'm gonna say Bianca Belair.
Okay. That's a dark horse pick. Bianca, I think, is like towards the top half of the betting odds favorites. I think the betting
Yeah.
odds favorites right now is like Charlotte, then Becky. Io is kind of underneath, I believe, Bianca, and like Liv Morgan is underneath like Io.
I
So
do
those
see
are like,
Becky Lynch returning, by the way.
yeah.
I can see Becky Lynch returning. Um Charlotte Flair, I just because I so think that Charlotte is going to win the Rumble, I almost don't want to put this out in the universe because I do feel like people are going to be genuinely excited to see Charlotte Flair back. But the minute she wins the Rumble, they're going to boo her out of the building. It's going to be that Royal Rumble all over again where everyone thought that Shayna Baszler was winning. And then Charlotte eliminated Shayna. And this was the downfall of Shayna Baszler, and she wasn't even a part of the main roster still. And yeah, like they please, it's because okay, I wanted to say 5 different things at the same time. So they remember them trying to push Charlotte Flair as the dominant force that she is. By the way, amazing wrestler. I'm not
Yeah.
gonna pretend that she's not. I love Charlotte. So there's a right way and there's a wrong way because the way they presented Bianca is the genuine way in which you need to present a dominant wrestler, not like Charlotte. I mean, the stupid thing is I can't even explain it because they both won a bunch, but Bianca Belair as their original star because she wasn't wrestling before that, and like she was in a totally different field, and Bianca Belair is WWE made. Of course,
Yeah.
okay, yes, Charlotte Flair. We all know who her father is. We all know her. About her family. You may bring up a point about the silver spoon and genetics and everything. I understand, but Charlotte Flair is a damn wonderful wrestler. Like when you're born with the name Flair, you need to fill some shoes.
Yeah.
I would assume because I was never a Flair fan. Never. Like I was Ric Flair, Hulk Hogan, I never got the hype, man. I never understood what any of that was. I was
When did
never
you start watching?
while then but I never got the hype. I don't understand. Like I always thought that there was something iffy there, and while I did acknowledge the fact that they were good wrestlers, I just could not. No,
Well,
it
I
was
understand with Hogan. But
there was something there that I did not like. It wasn't for me, like in any way. So um initially, like a month ago, I would have put my money on Io Sky. Uh, I feel like she deserves a Royal Rumble win. I don't know about you.
I do.
Um, but I suppose that they're gonna square off with Bailey, and then Roxanne Perez can eliminate them both while they're trying to eliminate each other. There's a bunch of fun stuff that can happen. But yeah, just FYI, I do have a lot more thoughts on the women's Royal Rumble, and then when we get to the men's Royal Rumble, I'm just gonna shut up because I just it's just
I love it. I love it.
yes. What do you think about everything?
Biggest surprise. I'm gonna go with.
Let's light it up, light it up, light it up.
Yeah, why not? Just AJ Lee. AJ Lee. That would be the biggest surprise for Saturday. So, yeah, I'll go with AJ Lee. Then I'll go Iron Woman, Roxanne Perez. I'll go most eliminations, Jordan Grace. I think that Roxanne will probably I think that Julia will be in the Women's Royal Rumble match, and she will eliminate Bailey to further the rivalry going
Oh,
into
Masha
Vengeance Day.
Slamovich. Masha
Masha
Slamovich is gonna be.
Slamovich, I see
She's
her
gonna
being
be
in
in
it.
there. Yeah,
I see Cora Jade being in it as well, and probably Masha eliminates Cora Jade to set
Yeah.
up a matchup between them for maybe Vengeance Day or another show coming up for NXT. I see. I think it's gonna come down to Becky, Charlotte, Bianca, and Liv. I think that Jade comes out and she's unsure. They're either going to pull the trigger on the reveal of who attacked Jade Cargill. I think Jade's in the Royal Rumble. She comes out, and if they are going to pull the trigger, she eliminates Naomi to reveal that it was Naomi that attacked her. And then we can have all the confusion there. Honestly, I think that the right way to do it is to have Jade come back and she doesn't know who attacked her. And she just comes back in the Royal Rumble, and then you could play it off. Then you can actually do the story that they set up of actually them looking for who attacked Jade Cargill, except it's with Jade as well. It's kind of like what they did with Austin, who ran over Austin. The real investigation of who ran over Austin didn't start until a year later when Austin finally came back. So I think that that's what they should do. And then the big reveal is at WrestleMania, because I think you're right in the fact that Bianca will be in a title match at WrestleMania. I don't think she's winning the Royal Rumble to get there, but I do think that the best matchup for Rhea Ripley at WrestleMania is Bianca Belair. So it will be Bianca versus Rhea. So that means that she's going to be out of the tag team title picture. Maybe you do a Freebird rule, or you switch it up or something, and you do Jade and Naomi in the tag title match at WrestleMania. And then that's where Naomi reveals that she was the attacker the whole time. Do it on the biggest stage possible if you're going to do it. Because I think that if they did it the former way that I said, of just Jade coming out and revealing that it was Naomi, it feels like we went from part A of the story all the way to like M, and we skipped all the other chapters in between. All the other letters, we skipped B, C, D, G. Like, we skipped all these other chapters and went all the way to M. And then the final chapter is WrestleMania when they do Jade and Naomi. I'd rather them play it out that way, where they do the investigation for a couple of months. They are still tag team champions. Now it's a Freebird rule with the tag team titles. And then finally Naomi says, "Nah, I've had enough of this. I'm taking you out."
I mean, the Royal Rumble is a huge event as it's at itself. It doesn't need the reveal also. Like, this could be
Yes.
a big thing for another show just so you can build around that. And I agree. Bianca and Rhea Ripley is the thing I'm going for. Otherwise, yes, Charlotte would win, and then
I got Charlotte winning. Yeah, I got
Tiffany's
Charlotte winning
probably-
because it just makes sense for her to win, to play out my whole she's Cody 2023 theory. She has to also win. She'll probably come in number 30 too.
Yeah, I hate that. Just that is the dumbest thing. Number 30 should be a surprise. You already promoted that, and that sucks. Why would you promote that? You fucking pieces of shit. You're so bad at your job. Why would you do that? It's just pissing me off. Oh God, it's the Rumble. We're so excited. And then they tell us before the Rumble happens, it's like, can I have one thing? Can I have one thing? Just, just give me
Wanna
a surprise, just so I have a reason to be actually at home, not taking money for a shift because I am not gonna take the shift.
I think that you're gonna be happy with the amount of surprises you get on Saturday. I think that Triple H is gonna make up for the last 2 years lacking surprises, and he's gonna make up for it this year, especially with the women's Rumble, especially with that. We do have to say big thank you to Brandon Brown in the chat. He's one of our members, and he was the person who made it possible for us to hit our goal on last week's AE Ramble for our goal for last week's show. And now he's making it possible for us to hit our goal for this Royal Rumble preview because he sent 10 super chat donations himself. He says,
Jesus.
let's go. It's Rumble week WWE. Don't F this up. I appreciate you, Brandon Brown. You are a goat, sir. You are definitely one of the goats in the chat. You're trying to take Will Chisholm's spot as the number one member of our community right now because you've been killing it the last couple of days. Thank you so much for those super chat donations and helping us hit our goals. So we will be doing the Royal Rumble lottery. We will draw numbers. I'll try to put a reminder in or segue some time for that on the flagship podcast on Saturday. So stay tuned for that. Join us live for that, and we'll do the lottery then. So join us for that as well. But we got some more Royal Rumble to discuss because it's not just the 2 Rumble matches, Maggie, for this year. And I think I mentioned it, but I want to reiterate. I'm going with Charlotte Flair. I think Charlotte wins to set up Charlotte and Tiffany, and probably Bianca wins the Elimination Chamber to set up Bianca and Rhea.
By the way, last week's Strapley time was a thing of beauty. When Tiffany Stratton and Rhea Ripley were in the ring together.
Strapley time.
Yes, this is exactly what Tiffany Stratton wrote in her Instagram story. She was like, Strapley time. Give this woman everything. Strapley time.
I've heard it all.
Strapley time.
I've heard it all. Oh, going over to the SmackDown side of things for the WWE Tag Team Championships. It will be DIY defending against the former champions, the Motor City Machine Guns. These two teams have been at each other's throats over the last couple of weeks, ever since DIY turned heel. Turning their backs, Johnny Gargano turning his back on his former mentor, Alex Shelley, turning to the dark side to help them win back the WWE Tag Team Championships. They tried their best to avoid the Motor City Machine Guns, who did become number one contenders and faced them on an episode of SmackDown earlier this month, but that was broken up by Los Garza and Pretty Deadly, which set up a number one contender series of matches where the Motor City Machine Guns were able to get victories over A-Town Down Under, Los Garza, and Pretty Deadly to set themselves up as the number one contenders once again. And Nick Aldis wants to determine who is the better team once and for all. So that is why it is 2 out of 3 falls this Saturday. 2 of the best teams in all of WWE. The 2 out of 3 falls matchup is a match that is synonymous with DIY, Tommaso Ciampa, and Johnny Gargano, whether it be in singles competition as well as in tag team competition, winning those tag team titles, the NXT tag team titles back in 2016 against the FTR in Toronto in a 2 out of 3 falls match. Who do you think wins on Saturday, and what have you thought about the build to this match?
Okay, 2 things before that. Is the Patreon supporter...
Oh, no, it's me. It's me. Go ahead.
Okay, Jesus, thank you. So 2 questions before that. The Patreon supporter, Nick Jackson, is he the Nick Jackson?
No, he's a black dude. He's a black Nick Jackson. That's why we call him the Negro Buck.
Okay. Okay, second of all, put that graphic back on.
Okay.
Put it back
Oh,
on.
I think I deleted it. I'll load it.
If it's too much work, you don't have to. I just
It's not.
so
It's not.
Tommaso.
I use one computer for everything, so it makes it easier now. So for me to do.
Oh,
this.
okay. So if it's that easy, that's so. Look at Tommaso Ciampa in that graphic. He looks like the friendliest truck driver who will help you change your tire. Tell me, how am I supposed to be rooting against this person?
Because he's a truck driver who also might kidnap you.
I mean, he's good looking, so
You're like, I'm totally fine with being kidnapped by that man, actually.
The bar is in hell, sweetie. So okay, so
I love it.
about the match.
Finally, about the match.
So finally, about the match. I'm gonna enjoy the crap out of this match. I know that one of probably the women's Royal Rumble is gonna open up the match, right? They always do that, ever since the women's Royal Rumble. The second year that there was a women's Royal Rumble. But if I had to pick one match to open the show, it would have been this, because it has the opportunity to hype up the audience with amazing and fast-paced wrestling, tag team wrestling, at its finest, because it's DIY and the Motor City Machine Guns. I want to pick DIY because ever since DIY got back together, even their previous run with the titles was nothing. I almost didn't remember it. And I kind of want some justice for DIY. And there's this whole thing with Apollo Crews and this whole thing with Pretty Deadly. And I can see them costing the titles and Motor City Machine Guns, getting back their titles themselves. But it's kind of a mishmash situation here, so I have no idea who to pick, but not because it's been kind of ups and downs with this storyline for me personally, because so I pretty much enjoy the way that we got here, but it's still kind of iffy because on the Mark side of, being a wrestling fan, I'm pissed off the DIY are heels. That's it, because like it's DIY. Like, I understand that they reached the conclusion where they have to be heels for them in order to have their championships back. I know that this is the whole storyline. This is why it's kind of tough for me to pick a winner. I am gonna go with DIY. But if the Motor City Machine Guns do lose this match, I don't understand where they go with them, because for me, Motor City Machine Guns have to be champions and elevate other tag teams while feuding for the championships, because otherwise they're the tag team veterans and you have no idea what to do with them.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of on the fence here. I am going to go with DIY, but I will have zero problem if Motor City Machine Guns win, because it's going to make sense for me. What do you think?
I think this has the potential to be great. Do I think it's gonna be great? I don't know if it'll get all the time that it deserves or needs. Like, I would think that this type of match, 2 out of 3 falls, it should get over 20 minutes. Do I think it's gonna get over 20 minutes? Probably not. But if it gets over 15, I think that's still fair. It still should be a very good match, even possibly breaking into that borderline great territory. But I think that DIY needs it, because you just turn heel. If they automatically lose in their first big title match on a pay-per-view, it just kills this whole heel act. And I think that I came up with the theory a couple of days ago that Triple H he wants to use the people that were the people that work for him in NXT. But what I've seen in practice is that they don't necessarily work in the same fashion that they did in NXT. And case in point is DIY as babyfaces on the main roster. It didn't get over. It didn't get over. That's why they had to switch it up. And that's why, if you notice, all of the NXT acts are not the same NXT act that worked. That's why I was against, the reason that I came up with this theory is that people were like, oh, Zelina Vega's going to SmackDown so she can reunite with Andrade. And I'm like, I don't know if that's going to work the same way. I was like, so the Zelina Vega that was the manager of Andrade is not the Zelina Vega of today. And the Andrade that was managed by Zelina Vega is not the Andrade that is today. I'd much rather Zelina be going to SmackDown to do an act with her husband, Malachi Black, coming back to WWE, because that's something new. That's something different. I don't want to see what worked in NXT, because that worked in NXT. It has proven it doesn't always work. It honestly, more often than not, it doesn't work on the main roster.
Yeah, but if that ends up happening, that that you're gonna get a feud between Aleister Black and Zelina and Karen Cross and Scarlett.
I'm okay with that.
It's right there. Yeah, so things working 100% at NXT and not working on the main roster is the reason why I'm terrified for the Tony D'Angelo family. I'm terrified.
Yeah,
it is so
I mean,
good.
it's not a coincidence that out of like the NXT 2.0 era, he's like the only one still there.
Yeah, I mean, it works so good on NXT because it has its ups and downs, but like it's generally entertaining. Like, tell me why Stax is hanging in the audience in the front row with a microphone. It makes no sense. I am so baffled. I mean, I enjoyed the segment because it makes sense and it raises further questions. But could you please did Tony D'Angelo make Stax buy a ticket?
Maybe.
It's just so weird. It is the weirdest thing.
They do those random stuff where they do freaking promos in the crowd. It just it makes you ask those questions.
Yeah, but like, also, why didn't he wave to the camera because he was in the crowd?
I'm here, guys. These are
yes. Yes. So I understand. Yes, everything, because I understand why DIY, because like it's different because their home is NXT. They were made there, and this is exactly the reason why the creeds aren't working on the main roster. This is it's also they haven't given them much of anything on the main roster, but like everyone was so backing up Julius Creed being one of the most wonderful people from that call up, and getting further praise, and like it's not. I don't know. It's not there. It's not.
But like, look at the two main like kind of successes from NXT to the main roster of the
Tiffany
Triple H
Stratton
era.
and Braun Breaker.
I would say I would say there's three. It's Tiffany Stratton, Braun Breaker, and Solo Sikoa.
Solo Sikoa, yeah.
Yeah. Tiffany is the only one that is still a kind of direct kind of correlation from her NXT character to who she is now, and it is working and it is well booked by WWE. Braun Breaker, this Intercontinental title run has been poorly booked from the beginning. Like ever since he started going for the Intercontinental Championship, it's been poorly booked because he shouldn't have lost to Sammy that first title defense. Then his first reign shouldn't have been a month to give it to Jey Uso for 3 weeks to get it right back on him. And then for past 2 months, since Raw went to Netflix, he's been more in the front. He's been a patron. He's bought more tickets to the show than he's been on the show. Like, what are we doing? Like, they have poorly booked him, and it's like a mixed bag because it was great the first 6 months of his main roster run, and now it's been very bad the last 6 months of his main roster run. But then you got Solo Sikoa, and he kind of like they kind of slowly but surely made him different from what he was as the street fighter from NXT. They literally had to kind of reshape him. He became a Roman Reigns clone, and then by right before Tribal Combat, he kind of formally kind of got into his own character where he's kind of like funny sometimes. He doesn't take himself too seriously. He realizes that he's the little brother trying to play the big brother role. And that's kind of a character that I can get into now that he's lost and he's like kind of depressed about it. And now you got someone who's going to kind of usurp him in that position as well. So I think that makes him more of a complex character, but that's not the character he was in NXT. So literally out of the three main call-ups to the main roster from NXT of the Triple H era, the only one that's still their NXT character is Tiffany, and it's working.
Yeah, I am incredibly insulted about Carmelo Hayes. Incredibly insulted.
I would love to pick Melo up there. He's actually gotten better recently. Because yes, they have booked him like a loser for most of his main roster run.
I understand what they're trying to do, but like it's because Carmelo Hayes is so one of my favorites, man. Like he stood out during that NXT 2.0 era. He made that whole era watchable for me, at least.
Yeah.
Carmelo Hayes, the GOAT of that era. And I will never stop saying this. I feel like his feud with Trick Williams did him no favors.
No.
And it did everything for Trick Williams, but it did nothing for Carmelo Hayes. And the two matches that they had were so underwhelming, man. Like they were built good.
I was like, you literally booked the black version of DIY's feud and then didn't pull the trigger on making their match at Stand and Deliver no DQ or non-sanctioned. It was just a regular match. I knew before the whole event, I was like, this is not going to work. This doesn't work. Like, they're friends. This is a bitter rivalry. They've been brawling. Why is this just a regular match? I was like, that's like it really felt going into Stand and Deliver last year. I was like, this really feels like Triple H versus Randy Orton, WrestleMania 25, where it was like, why is this a regular match when this dude just broke into his house? Like, why is this a regular match? Your best friend just betrayed you. Like, why? Like,
yeah, I know. I understand. So yeah, I know I can see that. So hopefully Carmelo Hayes has a wonderful showing at the Rumble and not just, get squashed from Braun Strowman or, others. It just, don't insult my intelligence by telling me that Carmelo Hayes isn't a wonderful wrestler. Just please don't do that. Please.
Please. And then we got up next. I said DIY for the 2 out of 3 falls matchup. And then we got another stipulation match for our non-Rumble matches. It is a ladder match for the undisputed WWE Championship. It will be Cody Rhodes defending against Kevin Owens with the undisputed WWE Championship and the WWE Winged Eagle Championship hanging high above the ring. This rivalry has been going on since August of last year when Cody Rhodes gave a title shot to his good friend Kevin Owens, and Kevin Owens couldn't bring himself to attack the different injuries or attack Cody at the right time to get the victory at Bash in Berlin. So Cody picked up the victory, and then following that, Cody then went on to team with Kevin Owens' arch enemy Roman Reigns to defeat Solo Sikoa and Jacob Fatu at Bad Blood, which led to Kevin Owens finally saying enough is enough after weeks of being upset that Cody chose the team with Roman. Various teases to him turning on Cody. He finally did it. Fans caught the camera footage on their phones outside the building at Bad Blood in Atlanta as Cody Rhodes was attacked by Kevin Owens outside of his tour bus, and it led to Kevin Owens becoming one of the better characters in WWE, cutting promos from his car, basically becoming an enemy of not only Cody Rhodes but the entire WWE company. He became an enemy of Randy Orton, who chose to just try to stay in the middle of things, but it led to KO KO, feeling that he chose Cody's side, so he attacked Randy as well. They faced at Crown Jewel, where the match was thrown out after they brawled all over the arena. And then Kevin Owens delivered a power driver to Randy Orton that has kept him sidelined since November. Since then, Cody has been hell-bent on getting revenge for his good friend and mentor, Randy Orton. The two men faced at Saturday night's main event, where KO had the visual 1-2-3 after a referee bump, but it was Cody who picked up the victory with a crossroads on a steel chair. Feeling cheated by that result, Kevin Owens attacked Cody Rhodes and delivered a package power driver for the first time in WWE to Cody at the first Saturday night's main event in December. Cody was stretchered out of the building. Cody made his return and set up a big time rematch with Kevin Owens for all the marbles, with the titles hanging high above the ring at Royal Rumble in a ladder match to determine who is the undisputed WWE champion. But we've had other wrinkles added to this, like Kevin Owens confronting Sami Zayn and not being upset that Sami teamed up with Roman, because Sami is a good person and he's a good friend. So he forgave what Roman did to him, just like he forgave what KO did to him. So he's going to have Sammy's back in the Royal Rumble, and he wants Sami to have his back and make sure he walks out WWE champion at the Royal Rumble. And it led to this past Monday on Raw, where Cody came out to make the save for Sami after he was attacked by Drew McIntyre. KO attacked Cody. Drew then attacked Cody when Cody got the better of KO, leading to Sami going for a Luva kick and Drew moving out the way, and Cody being hit with the kick by Sami, and KO slapping his best friend on the back like, thank you. So we will see. Is Sami going to get involved? Is Randy going to get involved? What have you thought about this 6-month storyline? And who do you think walks out undisputed WWE champion on Saturday?
Who I think and who I want are not the same person. So I think Cody obviously is going to win this match, but fucking justice for Kevin Owens, okay? Kevin Owens is always right. He has been wrong 0% of the time. He is absolutely justified in his anger towards people wanting to help Roman. You are right, because he's normal and all the rest of the wrestlers are not. You can throw Seth Rollins in there too. Oh, let's help Roman. He needs our help. He's not a bad guy anymore. And you're like, fuck no. No, you want to help Roman? No. Like, I'm not doing that. Throw in Drew McIntyre in there too. Zero lies detected. And I will always back up Kevin Owens, because even when he's a heel, he makes so much sense, man. It's like, you have no right. It's like, when he's a babyface, he's the most logical babyface there is, because he makes you get all the weird logic gaps that the booking has, which is always there in all wrestling companies. It's not just a WWE thing, and all wrestling companies have that. So all wrestling companies need to have a Kevin Owens. Just there. He's totally losing. I don't know. I have no idea if Sami Zayn wins here. Or
I mean, Kevin Owens?
I don't know if Sami Zayn gets involved here.
Oh, okay.
So it's, if Sami Zayn doesn't get involved, Kevin Owens can cost Sami Zayn the Royal Rumble after that. This is what, because we have I don't know who's winning the Rumble. And because of all these incredible branches of storylines that are hanging around, is what makes this Royal Rumble so great and so absolutely, hyped to watch. I'm obviously gonna go with Cody Rhodes. Is he doing a cutter from?
He should try the Sami cutter.
Yeah, this is exactly. Is he doing a cutter from? No, a Sami cutter from the ladders.
From one ladder to another.
Yes. I mean, if someone's gonna get that bump, it's Kevin Owens because like he's a psycho. Um,
He'll jump to meet Cody on the jump. He'll be like, hey, "Don't worry, let me just go out there for you.
yeah. So
Give you my neck."
just open up a huge bracket, and I'm just gonna mention this right after our show. I'm gonna go watch The Shining because I I see the picture. You know, I've
Oh,
never
thank you for
seen.
noticing.
Yes, I've never seen The Shining before. By the way,
Like,
it's
wow, I did
I
not know that.
haven't. No, I know what's it about. I know, but like I've never.
But I think that yeah, I got Cody picking up the win. I think that this needs to be 1-on-1. I think that Sammy doesn't need to get involved. Randy doesn't get involved. I think that Cody should get the win, pull down both titles, end this rivalry with Kevin Owens so he can focus on the road to WrestleMania, and we can find something new with KO, which I think is KO turning around and being in the Royal Rumble match.
Yeah, this is exactly that's exactly it. He's gonna totally enter the Rumble and maybe eliminate Sami Zayn. Like,
Or Randy Orton returns and takes him out.
yes. I mean, like Kevin Owens eliminates Sami Zayn, but Randy Orton eliminates Kevin Owens.
Could do that.
I know that they're probably gonna do Kevin Owens and Randy Orton at the Rumble, or they can do it at Elimination Chamber before that because Kevin Owens did bring up a match between him and Sammy at WrestleMania, and I'm not
I
exactly
think I think
sure.
I think that all the stuff that we've been seeing before Royal Rumble are red herrings. I don't think we're getting Sammy versus Cody, Sammy versus KO. I don't think we're getting Cody versus Punk. I think the only one that they teased before Royal Rumble that we are getting at WrestleMania is Sami Zayn versus Seth Rollins.
Sure, yes, the first accidental hit.
First accidental hit, but I think that because of how that is like the main like catalyst for them actually feuding with one another. I think that though it's gonna be Seth as the heel. Seth's gonna turn heel. They've been
Yeah,
building to that for weeks.
people want to cheer Sammy.
Yes, and
Yeah,
Seth is much better as a heel. Like
I don't
as a
know, man.
baby
I
face,
love him.
as a
I
baby
love him
face,
either way.
they're cheering his song.
Yes, yeah.
They're not. Let's be honest. Like we can say I love Seth Rollins. I call Seth Rollins going to WWE back when he was in Ring of Honor, back when he was in Age of the Fall with Jimmy Jacobs. I was like he's gonna be a WWE superstar. So I've been shooting in the Seth Rollins gym for a long time, but I've been having to be the one guy on these wrestling media podcasts and stuff who's honest with him. He's like not even a top 5 most over babyface in WWE right now. When WWE really needs a big time heel.
Yeah, but like previously that was Roman Reigns. I feel like they're trying to make Gunther that thing now.
They're not. No, they're not. Have you watched his booking since before Survivor Series?
Well, his booking, no, I understand why his booking is that, but I hope that now with this match with Jey Uso, like they can turn that around because everyone's cheering for Jey Uso, and I hope that with Jay, he can go back to that because it was weird at some point with Gunther.
I don't think Gunther's going to WrestleMania as the World Heavyweight Champion. I just doubt it by the way they booked him over the last 3 months. I feel like the Gunther that was the Intercontinental Champion so far has lapped World Heavyweight Champion Gunther.
Yes, you're absolutely correct. And let's not kid ourselves. I probably hate you about the fact that you're probably right about the Gunther title situation at WrestleMania, but it's so bad, man. I'm sorry.
It's
How, for you to have Gunther and to flop him there's you need talent for that.
you had Gunther, who was probably, like you said, he was like shaping up to be like the next great all-time heel for WWE, from his Intercontinental title reign to him losing the Intercontinental title after 666 days, winning the King of the Ring, then winning the World Heavyweight Championship, and then ever since he won the World Heavyweight Championship, Triple H has booked him like he's the Miz. Like, he's a chicken shit heel sometimes. He goes 50-50 with Jey Uso and Damian Priest. He has CM Punk, Seth Rollins, and Drew McIntyre on the same brand that don't even mention him, don't go for the world title. He doesn't mention them. They don't go for he doesn't challenge them for the world heavyweight title. So if the world champ, if the top stars on the promotion don't care about this guy and the supposed world title on the show, why should I?
Yes. Correct.
I'm sorry.
No, never.
Look at this. We got breaking news from our very own Romeo in the chat.
Thank you, Romeo. Yes.
Thank you so much, Romeo, announcing breaking news. Triple H will to headline the Hall of Fame PWA Center. I'm sorry, I can't say that without laughing. Can somebody tell me, is Triple H even trying to fight the allegations that he makes everything about himself? Is he even trying to fight it anymore? How do you, like, Vince never did that? Vince could have been in the Hall of Fame a long time ago. Really? What? No,
Okay.
Is no one going to be upset about this? Are we kidding? He put himself in the Hall of Fame. What?
Okay, to be fair, he has to be in the Hall of Fame. I understand. I understand why that's funny.
I can't breathe.
I
Oh my god. Dude's done 2 Hall of Fames. The first one, it was headlined by the guy that helped him book the best storyline that made the company hot. And then the second year, he put himself in.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm sorry, Becky.
No. It is. I mean, I'm looking at it at a a bit different perspective, because like I'm looking at like Triple H the performer. He absolutely has to be in the Hall of Fame. He has to be. But on the other side,
oh my god! Oh my! I've gotta watch this. Romeo said he was surprised by Stephanie McMahon, Undertaker, and Shawn Michaels with the announcement. Got very emotional.
was he really surprised, or was it staged? I don't understand.
Yo, this is unbelievable. Yo, if Tony Khan did something like this, we wouldn't hear the end of it. We would not hear the end of it.
Okay, so I kind of want to now watch
if Jeff Jarrett had done this in TNA, oh my god, he would have been crucified. That. He would have been crucified, though. Oh my god, the level of ego of this man is astonishing.
Okay, who inducts Triple H in the Hall of Fame? Is it Shawn Michaels?
Shawn Michaels, Stephanie, Shawn Michaels, Undertaker, those three that surprised him. Surprised. Oh my god, it's even worse. It's not a video, it's the report from Mike Johnson. WWE, Mike Legenta told Mike Johnson, oh, Triple H was so emotional when he found out. Oh man, it's crazy. It's not like he makes the Hall of Fame himself, He was so surprised.
Seriously.
Oh, I can't wait. They're gonna drop the video though. They're definitely gonna drop the video when they officially announce it. I love how Maggie started this out like, Triple H the performer deserves to be in the Hall of Fame, and then just saw me go completely out of it. It was like, you know what? I'm over it.
Hey, She's my superhero, okay?
Oh my god, that's the best breaking news you've ever given us, Romeo, on a live stream. I have to give it to you,
Thank
sir.
you.
That
Thank you,
broke me.
sweetie.
That broke me for a good what has it been? Like 5-10 minutes, 5-6 minutes.
Yeah, that's
Like,
about right.
yo, that's amazing. Triple H, thank you. I needed that today.
Thank you, Netflix.
Thank you, Netflix. I needed that today. All right, finally, we got the men's Royal Rumble matchup. Yes, 30 men will enter over the top rope, and there will be one winner who will go on to headline the WrestleMania 41 in Las Vegas. Already announced for this year's men's Royal Rumble match, John Cena, CM Punk, Roman Reigns, Seth freaking Rollins, Drew McIntyre, LA Knight, yeah, Jey Uso, Rey Mysterio, Sami Zayn, Shinsuke Nakamura, Logan Paul, Penta, Chad Gable, Carmelo Hayes, Braun Breaker, and 15 more participants to be named or to be revealed on Saturday. What a field already set up for this year's Royal Rumble match. So many others might show up. We might get some NXT representatives, might have some legends showing up, might have a certain person. If I say his name, he may appear in the Royal Rumble matchup. So there is a lot to expect, a lot to be excited about. But with the big names in this matchup, and within this matchup, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 out of the people already announced. 7 winners, 7 Royal Rumbles won between the participants already announced. I think it's 4 or 5 separate Royal Rumble winners in the matchup. Cena's a 2-time winner himself. But what do you think about this field? Who do you think is the Iron Man, most eliminations, biggest surprise, and who wins the 2025 men's Royal Rumble match?
Okay, for the Iron Man, I would like deep down I kind of feel like I hope for it to be Joe Hendry, the Iron Man, but I know they're not gonna do that. So I'm gonna hoping for Obafemi, actually,
Ooh.
for an Iron Man. I feel like they should launch Obafemi to the moon. Give me a reason to care about NXT by showing such a wonderful NXT champion, because you know how much I love Tony D'Angelo. For me, it was a mistake for Tony D'Angelo that he beat Obafemi for the North American Championship. Because we saw really early that Obafemi is beatable. And I wasn't ready for that visual, but that's fine. So I know what the predictions are. I know what people are speculating towards and everything. I kind of feel like CM Punk will win the Royal Rumble. I don't know if that makes sense or not, but I just have that nagging feeling. I don't know. Because last night on NXT, they hinted that Ethan Page was going to be a part of the Rumble. And there is one thing that I would like to happen in this Royal Rumble, and that is for Josh Alexander to enter the Royal Rumble while Ethan Page is in the ring. I love Josh Alexander, man. Like, he's the reason you need to be watching. You needed to be watching Impact TNA and everything. I do see Trick Williams also being a part of the Rumble. I feel like I do see Tony D'Angelo too being a part of the Rumble. I It's really tough when talking about, surprises for the Rumble. Are we gonna get Pat McAfee again as a
Mm,
as an entrant
I
on
hope
the
not.
commentary table, and
I
then he
hope not.
gets out of the ring? Yeah, I certainly hope not, because there's a spot which it can be filled with other people. That's it. Um, I don't know. I promise to shut up when it comes to the Royal Rumble, because it's weird for me. And I sincerely have no idea about, surprises and everything. When it comes to the men's Royal Rumble and surprises, probably Josh Alexander. I just want to see Josh Alexander there. It's I really want to see Josh Alexander and Ethan Page. I know that they didn't, because it's not my business, it's not my place to speak. I don't know if they ended on good terms with one another and everything. I know that Ethan Page does not want to go back to TNA Impact, or whatever, but like, definitely Josh Alexander can hop back in. What do you think about this Royal Rumble? It's really, I the easiest pick for me is to go that John Cena is gonna win, because there's a story for all the probable winners for the Rumble, and that's a good thing. That's a good booked main roster, because you'd have no idea who's going to win the Rumble. What do
Yeah,
you think?
there's like five guys who have like a good chance to win the Royal Rumble. Like Drew McIntyre, I don't think anybody would complain if he pulls out like a surprise win. And it's been a while since we had like a real heel win the Royal Rumble as well. So, and that would set up maybe a potential match. Maybe somehow they get the World Heavyweight title on a Roman Reigns, or a fresh matchup with him and Cody Rhodes. But I think that it's not as likely that Drew McIntyre will get the win in this year's Royal Rumble. Seth
Mhm.
Rollins has an interesting story because he's, had a couple of losses against CM Punk and stuff on the Raw on Netflix. And then if he wins, it could possibly set up
Oh,
if the World Heavyweight title gets to a Roman Reigns, or even him and Gunther is a fresh matchup that they teased on Monday's Raw. And then him talking about wouldn't it be appropriate that I helped Cody win the title and then I beat him for the title this year. That's a fun story as well. But I think that it really comes down to the top three. It really comes down to the top three. Like, the top three is the story. And to me, out of that top three, the one that is the lamest story to win the Royal Rumble is John Cena. That's
yeah,
like
it
not
is.
the story that
Mm-mm.
was presented to us on the Raw on Netflix premiere. He said he hasn't won in 4 years. And then he just said, you know what? I'm going to join the Royal Rumble. And then I'm going to win the Royal Rumble. And I'm going to win. That would just, he said he was going to do it. Then he just did it. That's not like John Cena.
No.
John Cena is about having adversity and never giving up and picking yourself up. And the fact that they are making the
Well, we have
Elimination
Cody
Chamber.
Rhodes now.
Yeah, I know. But the fact that they're making the Elimination Chamber so much about John Cena, it makes me think he's going to be in a chamber match, which makes me
Mhm.
think he's not going to win the Royal Rumble. So then
Yeah.
it comes down to CM Punk and Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns, I would love it. Literally, like 3 weeks ago, maybe a month ago, it was a while. I was like, Roman Reigns is winning this year's Royal Rumble. It just made the sense to me. I was like, he's only won one Royal Rumble, and it's literally one of, if not the worst Royal Rumble of all time, and the worst received Royal Rumble of all time in 2015. So to erase all of that, have him win this year's Royal Rumble. He can go on. Punk can take the title from Gunther, and then he could go on, face him for the title at WrestleMania, or go against Cody for the title again at WrestleMania. Or the favor is the reason why he picks Punk for the title at WrestleMania. There were so many different intriguing directions to go with Roman Reigns. But watching the build to this matchup, there's only one pick. It's CM Punk.
Yeah.
Especially when you think of the fact he's never won the Royal Rumble. 2, next year's Royal Rumble is in Saudi Arabia. He's not showing up.
He's
So
not
then
showing up.
if he doesn't win this year, that means he has to wait 2 more years before he ever has a chance to win the Royal Rumble. And then when you look at the build, all the build has been about Punk. It's been about Punk and Cena. Oh, they're going to interact for the first time. Punk and Rollins. Oh, they just first on the Raw on Netflix. They have this 10-year rivalry and stuff. Punk and Drew. They had the 1-year rivalry, the rivalry of the year last year. Punk and Roman. What's going on with the Paul Heyman and the favor and everything? Like, Punk is the centerpiece of this whole thing. Like, if you don't think Punk is the favorite, I think that it's baffling that right now, if you did betting odds, John Cena is the favorite. Like, everybody and their mama needs to be putting down money on CM Punk right now, because it's like, you can make some cash because he's not the favorite to win. It makes no sense that John Cena is the favorite to me. It should be CM Punk if you're watching the product. And I know the perfect way to do it. Come down to the final three. It's Seth, Punk, Roman. I've said this pitch on the True Hill Heat flagship podcast. My first time telling it to Maggie. You have Roman eliminate Seth, and Seth becomes Sid Vicious from the 1992 Royal Rumble, with Roman becoming Hulk Hogan, and he holds on to his hand. He's distracted long enough that CM Punk eliminates Roman Reigns from the Royal Rumble, because it helps 4 different characters right there. Because Punk wins the Royal Rumble. He gets his main event at WrestleMania. Then we still have the whole favor thing going on with Paul Heyman. Who is he going to pick? Is it going to be Cody like we set up on Raw? Is it going to be whoever's the World Heavyweight Champion by the time we get to WrestleMania? What's Paul Heyman's favor all about? With Roman Reigns, he gets screwed out of winning the Royal Rumble by his Shield mate, by the man that he feels is responsible for distracting him and costing him the Undisputed Universal Championship. So it just revs up the momentum and anticipation for a Roman and Seth matchup. It also revs up anticipation for Roman and Punk, because Punk eliminates him. And then for Seth, it just creates him as the probably the most intriguing character coming out of all of this, because he can finally say to Drew, who's been badgering him, being like, you're not helping and keeping Roman Reigns from the top. He can now go to him and be like, I stopped Roman from winning the Royal Rumble. And what will Drew say in response to that? And this is how it helps Drew's character. You helped CM Punk win the Royal Rumble. That's almost as worse. So I think that that's the perfect. And it's a callback to the past. And the callback to the past, because you don't want to feature Hulk Hogan in those clips from 1992 Royal Rumble. So you might as well do it over and have a new clip to show.
That's actually kind of brilliant for in my view. It is really good. It is really good. I don't know when at one point Drew gets eliminated. I don't know who eliminates Drew. Both Punk and Seth can eliminate Drew. That's I can see. I totally see that happening.
Or you could give something to Sammy, and you could have Sammy eliminate Drew.
Yeah,
he's 0-11.
0-11 against Drew. Yes. So the other thing that you can do is have CM Punk as number 1, and then enters CM Punk. Jesus Christ. And then enters John Cena. Then
I would like that.
Two of them can face
I would like Cena to come out early to give a lot of people on the roster the opportunity to interact.
The rub. Yes, exactly. I would like that. But I want to see a one-on-one thing in the Rumble between Punk and Cena. That's all.
I feel you on that. I think the most eliminations will be Jacob Fatu. I think Jacob Fatu will have the most eliminations, and we're gonna get a spot that I think they haven't done in quite some time. Person clears the ring and waits for the next person to come out. You have Jacob Fatu. You have Jacob Fatu come out like 10, 11, 12. He clears the ring. He's all in the ring, and he's alone. And Braun Breaker comes out. Yes. That roof is going to come off Lucas Oil Stadium if Braun Breaker goes face to face with Jacob Fatu in this Royal Rumble. Or you could make it bigger and you could have Roman Reigns come out to have a stare down with Jacob Fatu. Something like that. There's a lot of different ways you could go, but I think Jacob Fatu is going to have the most eliminations. Iron Man, I'm going to go with Sammy, because Sammy's had probably one of the most underrated but most compelling stories going into the Royal Rumble. Yes. With this whole his whole feeling like his friends and being there for his friends are stopping him from reaching his goal of becoming the world champion, and if he's gonna turn heel or not and stuff like that. That's why I would like
isn't he?
That's why I like if he eliminates Drew and then Seth eliminates him to set up Seth and Sammy for WrestleMania.
Yes.
So those are the things that I would do, but I am very excited for the Royal Rumble on Saturday. And I know you are. You're at a 10, but you've helped me. I've gone up. I've gotten closer to you. I'm at like a 9 now. I'm really excited because all these matches should be good to great. And if the Royal Rumbles pay off and are as good as they're hyped out to be, this might be one of the best Royal Rumbles ever.
Yeah, see, there's 4 matches on this card, and it's been an hour and a half. We've blabbered on for an hour
Well,
and a
there's
half.
30 people to talk about in 2 of the matches, to be fair to us. And we go on tangents as well. We talk about whole different other things.
Every time.
Every single time. I think if not Sammy for Iron Man, I would say Penta.
Ooh,
should have a
Penta.
strong show.
You know, a Penta and Jacob Fatu stare off is gonna be.
I would like that. I would like that.
Yeah.
A Penta and John Cena, where John Cena's, you can't see me, and he says,
It is.
Zero, Metal.
It's right there. It writes itself. It's so bad. But then you're gonna have Zero Miedo. Yeah. Zero Miedo. Yeah. And then
Zero Metal, eat. Zero Metal, eat.
Stop it.
Oh man.
But you can have you can eat me.
You can eat. Oh my God, what are we doing? I do think Ethan Page over Femi.
Ethan Page?
Ethan Page over Femi and Trick Williams from NXT are gonna be in this matchup. From TNA, I'm going with Joe Hendry, Mustafa Ali, since he just signed, and
Really?
Jeff Hardy.
Okay, yeah, I can see someone from the Hardys. Yeah, but you can see Mustafa Ali, really?
Yep.
I'll be shocked if that happened.
I can see Mustafa Ali, or I can see Nick Nemeth. I don't see Josh because he's not signed past next month. So
I don't care.
I'm just saying. He wants to test out free agency, and he said that. But if he shows up in the Royal Rumble, you're not testing out free agency, sir. You're getting an offer from WWE.
Yeah.
So that's why I don't want to see Josh. I want to see if he explores free agency for real. But yes, I'm very excited. The biggest surprise, probably Joe Hendry for the men. Say his name and he appears. I believe in Joe Hendry. There we go. All right, we made it to the end. We made it to the end of our WWE Royal Rumble 2025 preview. We got a bunch of comments to feature in the chat here. Corey says, let my man Joe Tessitore get in the ring and tear it up with everyone. If any commentator should be in the Rumble, it should be Corey Graves.
And
Corey Graves, so he get punched in the face. No, Pat McAfee, no. No, I think Pat McAfee will be in the Royal Rumble because it's in Indianapolis.
Okay, so why? Why?
What?
Why the Corey Graves hate? What?
I'm not hating on Corey Graves, but he shouldn't have been running his mouth. I could understand if Triple H like, oh, put him in the Royal Rumble, and then he tells one of the boys in the back, yo, punch him in the face for real.
Okay, wouldn't you be extremely upset and run your mouth if you had to be put on a commentary desk for 2 hours with Booker T?
Yes. I was saying yes before you even said the full thing. Like, what are we talking about? We also got a super chat donation from the King Ellie Show. Thank you so much, King Ellie, for the support. He says, my Rumble picks, Bianca and Roman Chamber predictions, I guess, for the Rumble, or I don't know, or no, chamber predictions, Charlotte and John Cena. So he's going Rumble, Bianca and Roman, and then chamber predictions, Charlotte and John Cena. I could see John Cena winning at the chamber. I think it's the reverse for the women for the Royal Rumble. I think Bianca wins at chamber, Charlotte wins the Rumble.
Either way, we will be getting those two women matches, Bianca Ripley and Charlotte Flair and Tiffany Stratton. Those are probably the matches that we're going for at WrestleMania, but we don't know which one is which.
Not yet. AJ Lee, please. Thank you so much, King Ali Cho, for the super chat donation. We one more from Alex Powell, not a super chat, but he says next year Evolution is going in, pal, to the WWE Hall of Fame. It's gonna be Evolution in 2026. It'll be 2027. The Authority.
Yes.
The Authority in 2027. Then the 2028 it will be NXT Black and Gold. Will go into the Hall of Fame. Then after that, it will be the 2024 main roster for WWE. Like, it's just going to be different ways to celebrate Triple H.
Yeah, pretty much.
Sounds about right.
I can see that.
Sounds about right. Maggie, thank you as always for joining us for our pay-per-view preview, this time for the WWE Royal Rumble 2025 event. I know you got some more content you're going to be doing this week, so let everybody know where they can follow you on social media and when they might see you again on their YouTube screens.
Guys, you can follow me on Twitter if you guys still do that. Twitter X or whatever, at Maggie_IK. On Instagram, at Maggie.IK, and on Blue Sky thingy, Maggie-IK, which is the weirdest thing ever that this week. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm always having a fucking blast with SP3. He's one of my favorites. If you want to catch me again, you can catch me any Friday at 3 p.m. Eastern on Fightful Overbooked, doing a show called Coexisting with Rob and Maggie. Rob Wilkins, our wonderful friend, had a birthday yesterday, so go show him, show a bunch of love for Rob. We love Rob on Fightful. Also, I don't know if we're gonna do a pre-show on Fightful Select on Saturday. I guess stay tuned for that. Mentioning Fightful Select, it is probably, the last 2 days in which you can lock in, $5 worth of Fightful Select membership for 1 month, or $54 for the whole year for Fightful Select, because from February 1st, Fightful Select is going to be the best $6 that you spend in the wrestling business. So go ahead and log that in. Please subscribe. It helps us out a lot. But please also subscribe to True Heel Heat channel. One of my closest and dearest, friends are working here. I adore you guys. You're so funny. I love when people are, making me laugh, because that's incredibly hard these days. Also, subscribe to Fightful Overbooked on YouTube. Thank you so much for having me. Guys, you can...
I loved it. That was your best outro ever.
Yeah, so nihilistic, yes. So I hope to be able to hop in here on all and every WWE PLE prediction show. I'm having the time of my life. I'm sorry for last week. It was not on me.
It's okay. It's okay. We missed you, but I survived. And I appreciate you joining us today. You can follow me on the Twitter machine at TrueHillSP3. You can follow the gang, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok at TrueHillHeat. Patreon.com/TrueHillHeat. $3 a month gets you exclusive content. That's the best way to support us when we are not live here. And I will be live tomorrow, 1:05 p.m. Eastern time, with AE Ramble, reviewing tonight's AEW Dynamite with Jimmy Macaram. So join us live for that. Friday, we got a THH cut that's going to be dropping. And then on Saturday, we got our flagship podcast where, yes, we will be doing our Royal Rumble lottery, picking the numbers. I'll let you know all the details. I'll put it on the community tab ahead of time for all the details. So you show up on Saturday to get your number and join the lottery, and we'll have have the watch along on Saturday as well as a review on Sunday. So hit the subscribe button and hit the bell to stay notified for all the great content here. In the meantime, between time, check out our WWE Saturday night's main event preview. Check out Rated Raw review from yesterday and the True Hill Heat flagship podcast before the cops come to get me. This has been the WWE Royal Rumble
Bad boys,
2025
bad boys. What you gonna do?
preview. We are signing off until next time.